Hello everyone, this is FallenDice and welcome to episode 21 of Burpcraft Feed the Beast with FallenDice. Looks like I need to... Wow, I have a lot of stuff to do, or to recharge. But a couple of things I'm going to show real fast here is things that I've done between episodes. I added these in, I don't think I'd shown them yet. These are the Burpmod advanced workbenches. So what I did is I filled this up because in the back side I have the level limiters, and it's basically saying that I want to keep at least I think like 1,000 or 4,000, somewhere in there, like a barrel of redstone that's not blocked yet, and anything else over that gets sent over to this craft bench, which automatically crafts it into the redstone and then pulls it out. So you kind of see back there we got the limiters, and this is the export, sending it from the system, sending in the ingots, and then underneath we have the actual imports going back into the system. That way I can now don't have to worry about manually doing this. So when this is running, you can see right now quite a bit of, like 50 now of the iron blocks, and actually I had more, and you'll see shortly why I have a few less. But anyway, so we did that one. Trying to think, what else did I do? I did a lot of behind the scenes and kind of touch up work. Speaking of the ME limiters, and actually, what is it fully called? Let me look that up really fast here. I mentioned that in my last episode as something I was going to do for, there we go, level limiters. Sorry, that I was going to do for my recyclers and some things, and easy to make. And what it does is it gives you the ability to emit a redstone signal that's either activated when an item is above or below a specific amount. So if we come up over here, you can see how I basically now use this. And I also added in a few more recyclers because I had a lot of stuff. So the way this works now is over here we've got, let's get one that we're actually using. There we go. Phosphor. If there's no redstone signal coming into the system, it's going to route my phosphor into this recycler to be recycled. Our emitter says I need to keep 10,000 phosphor in my system. And the reason I'm doing that is in case something happens and I have to restock the system, I've got the backstock just in case. I don't really need more than that. So what it says is emit this when levels are below the limit. So if I go below 10,000, it's going to send out a redstone signal, which it is, which will then shut this off and stop recycling. Good to go on that, and that's all these are like that. And I think I did that over here too, where I was making sand. So the way this one works is if I go below 10,000 sand, I'm going to emit a redstone signal. And if I get a redstone signal, it's going to route cobble down here to make sand. So it's kind of a way of using two different items to keep something else kind of balanced. Now the next thing I did, besides kind of clearing this out and getting ready for it, is we're going to work with some liquids in this level. This episode. So I had to kind of set up my liquids, or where I'm going to be putting some new liquids. So here's a change in here now. If the room looks smaller, it is. What I ended up doing was lining this up with the basically the corners of our lava tanks here, and then instead of using the RailCraft tanks, we're using Mystcraft ones. So you can kind of see we got the Mystcraft thing on it. But to kind of still match them up and make them look similar, I used blocks of iron. So like I said, I used quite a bit of iron in this. At some point I'm going to go in there and fix this. For some reason, once this becomes a Mystcraft tank, the texture it takes goes back to this original vanilla with little things in them, which I've gotten rid of on my normal glass, but as soon as it's become a Mystcraft tank, it comes back in. So I will be fixing that eventually. Something else too, now that I think about this. If you look over here, you can see this thing's running full, and so is this one. We have both these running, and I still have excess, and that's because I finally got this kind of worked out. So what we got going here is we've got one of these ME exports is sending in cobble by the stack, And this one is sending in phosphor by the stack, keeping this full. And then on the output, I have 2 separate of the emeralds saying, you know, you can't see it now. It wants me to show me the gate. But it's saying send 2 phosphor followed by 1 cobble. And then they meet up together. So I'm basically sending twice as much as I was before. And I got 1 in either end. So I have enough to right now run 2/3 of each one of these, which is good. And then once I get a little more phosphor coming out, I can actually go all the way and do all 4. And the reason for that I'm having to do that is because I had actually almost completely run out of lava. I had some issues with my cobble, which is part of the reason for that sand thing over there. I was actually turning all my cobble into sand, and it was bad. But we were almost completely recovered now, which is good. So, as I ramble, that was my best RenEvo impression for a. This is what I've been doing while you were gone. Hope you approve there, Ren. And congrats. Anyway, so let's head over and to what we're gonna do next. Okay, we are back. So this is where we left off on our last episode. We had just put in our rolling machines and our induction smelters. I think that's what they are. Now we're going to put in 2 rock crushers here. These are going to be the easiest ones to do. But over here, this is going to get a little more interesting. We're going to be putting in a pulverizer and a sawmill. Those 2 are fairly easy. But we're also going to be putting in 2 magma crucibles and 2 liquid transposers. That way we can start to get our molten redstone, or is it molten ender and liquid redstone? There we go. So, the way we're going to do, let's go ahead and knock these out. It's 6 blocks. And I think the way I wanted to do it is we're going to separate the 2 liquid things by our sawmill and our pulverizer. And those aren't necessary, but again, I wanted to kind of have access to all the different items for each one of these, and they have something that can kind of do, they have some cool things that each one can do, and again, not required, not that I can't be always done by something else, but it's, you know, we're here, so why not do it? So, I think we want the crucible is on the outside, and then it goes, the next is going to be the transposer. So we'll do that on both of these. And then we'll put a sawmill there and the pulverizer there. Now we're also going to be having some need of some liquid tesseracts, and actually I think I am actually going to have to... I've run out of the unattuned tesseracts. So I'm going to... You know what? I am going to have to make some of those, because I don't think I have the ability yet. I don't have the molten ender yet, so I'm going to have to go to spawn. So I am going to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff ready for it. I forgot. I had all the tesseracts ready, and then I did the projects over in there with the Zycraft engines, and I blew through 6 more of them. So anyway, let me go ahead and get those items here, and I will be right back. Alright, so we're back. And actually, as soon as I got back here, I realized there's 2 things I've got to do right off the bat. Unfortunately, the liquid machines are, once again, the type that require all 4 sides to be used. So that means we're going to have to run our redstone up the front again. I would consider doing something other than the redstone, since you can't use facades, but unfortunately they don't, it doesn't just have a regular input coming into these. It actually, well, you'll see once we get a little further. So this just, it's one of those things where it just kind of has to be. So I'm going to clear this out real fast. They make large messes. And let's see, where would be the best place to connect? I think right here. Keep running this across. There we go. And then we'll just run this right across the bottom. Okay. First part of that is done, and I'm trying to think if I should just do that over there as well. I think what I'm probably going to do is also, let me clean this up a little bit, but I think I'm going to play with my covers a bit. So let me make this look just a little bit better real fast, and then I'll be right back for the next part. Alright, so here we go. I really wish that there was a way that facades or something worked with this so I could cover this up, but unfortunately it is what it is, so I have to live with with this the way it is. The next thing we're going to be doing is import buses. We got to put one on each one of these, and inside these is where we're going to put our input. So we're going to be putting redstone in this one, ender pearls in this one, and that's going to be the inputs into our crucible to kind of melt things down, and eventually it's going to get to this transposer, but that's not quite yet. Now on the back side we're going to be setting up a liquid tesseract. Where did I put those? There we go. And it's just going to go straight on the back just like that, and actually there's going to be one here, there, and there. Let's see, and we're going to go over to this one. And we're going to have to make some new names here. So we'll look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, if I just go down to the bottom, it'll... Oh, no, I need to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 23, I think, is the last one I did. So if I go 24, 23... Nope. 24. Oh, yeah, 24. Okay, because it didn't chase. All right, so 24. So 24 is going to be... I think this is our redstone. Redstone... Our liquid redstone. Production. Got it. We're going to call it our liquid redstone production because we're going to have separate... going from here into a multi-block tank, and then from there back over to here. So we want to have it separate than just the same one. So over here, then we're going to go 25. Owner only. Receive only. And this one's going to be liquid red tank. Oops, redstone. Let's get the whole thing. Redstone tank. Alright. Gotcha. Now, we'll come over here to our tank setup because we'll have to do this next part here. And once I get this one done, then I'm going to go through and do the molten ender one separately by itself. I'll get that done and then we'll come back. So I'm thinking we're probably going to use this one. So we'll go over here till we find exactly where the this one came up. Where did it come up? Is it over there? Or did I... Oh, I bet you I never... Oh, it's right here. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be owner only, receive only, and this is going to be liquid redstone production, receiving. There we go. I'm going to come back and fix this all later. Okay, so liquid redstone receiving, production receiving. So it's receiving from over there, and then on the back of this tank valve, we will stick yet another liquid tesseract. And this one is going to be owner send liquid redstone tank. Got it. It seems like a roundabout long way, but the fact is especially when you're making like redstone energy cells and things like that, it takes a lot of the liquid redstone, and the problem is the liquid redstone isn't produced very quickly. So it's not, it's feasible, but it's not very enjoyable or fun to sit there and have your redstone putting it into here and have it just pumping it over into there so you can use it, because you end up waiting a long time. So we're going to be redstone coming in, getting liquefied, going out there to the tank, from the tank if we having it come back in here, and that will keep this part here full. We still have to play around with the sides and all, but that's how this is going to work. And then the final thing we have to do, actually two things honestly. First off, we need the item coming in and the item coming out, which means we need 2 more of our ME interfaces. And I just told it to make 10 of those. There we go. Okay, so one goes up top And one goes on the bottom. There we go. And actually, you know, I probably can now, if I think about this, I can probably stick the the import bus on there. I'll have to check it. But basically what we're doing here is this is going to have all of our patterns in here. So we're going to, you know, if we tell it we wanted to make a redstone energy cell, which is actually going to take, it's going to take a energy cell frame empty. And we'll have the recipe in it for it to create the redstone or the energy cell frame. And then it's going to basically send that over here through this interface down into here where it's going to get filled up with the redstone or the liquid redstone that's going to be coming from our tank over there. And then it'll output out the bottom and we'll basically have our completed item. So I'm going to finish this up here and then do the same thing over here, and then I'll be back in a sec and then we'll actually go ahead and make something so we can watch it in action. Wow, well that actually didn't take very long. Technically, as soon as I had this thing plugged in, she started filling up with redstone. And basically it's pumping it into here, and as soon as it gets in there, it's taking it and pumping it back over to our tank, which I'm guessing is probably, yep, that's already ended up in here. So this will be filling up here shortly. So we can almost use this right now as it is. We don't have a recipe, of course. So we'll just, while it's doing that, and same here. That's awesome. And this one's filling up faster. Alright, so while it's doing that, we'll just get straight into the next section here, which is actually really simple. And that's with like the pulverizer and the sawmill. Both of these are single input. And although it shows multiple outputs, because we're all going into our ME system, we'll just have it as a single output. So instead of having it like this, we'll just go orange. And we'll turn it off. Actually, the back side is going to be where it's going to be at. So we'll turn you off here as well. And the back side is where we want it. We turn it orange, and so it's basically going to be pumping the items out the back side on both of these. So this is going to be another one of those ones where we're just going to be putting in patterns in both of these. It'll pump the items in. As soon as it's done, it's going to take it right back out the back side into the system, and it's all completely done. So I'm just going to let this basically run for a little bit. I'll go ahead and touch this up, put in my my sandstone covers in the on the front here, as well as my item frames, and then we'll come back when we're ready to actually, like I said, run an item through here and actually create it. All right, so let's demonstrate everything now. If we look over here, I've already put in the recipes for everything now, so I can go over here to, say, a redstone energy cell, and I've already got a few of these, so let's go back to the full view so I can, we'll get rid of all the empty ones. I don't know how many of those I actually have. Okay, there we go. Alright, that way we can actually see it happening. So if I click it right now, it's going to make one, and here's the thing, is it will make everything for it now. It's going to make all the conductance coils, everything, and eventually it will send in an unattuned to go over to get filled up here, and then the output will be our actual redstone energy cell. Oh, it's already done. That's quick. And then if we want a, again, that's a full energy cell. So that's the frames. Some of these are frames, some of them are cells. So yeah, so anyway, that one is completed now. And then on this side, the output for these is our tesseracts, and more specifically our unattuned. So you can see I have a tesseract frame right now. So if I were to come over here and tell it I wanted one, that disappears. It goes in here, and you can't see it right now because it's getting filled, but it'll give us our unattuned. And again, likewise, I've already programmed everything in to create the actual tesseract frame, so all the items needed to do that to get to this point are in there. In addition, our sawmill. And big reason why I wanted to make this one is this. We get 6 planks every time we put in one log, which is like basically it's a 50% increase. In addition, we get some sawdust and stuff as well. So this is cool for when we need extra wood. We can use that now instead of just putting it into our crafting box and then doing it manually. And then over here, I've got all the pulverized versions of some of these items that we need here. At some point, I may actually have to add more, so we'll see on that. But for now, if I need to make hardened glass now, I can actually pulverize my own obsidian and get it out. So that is good. Now the next thing. Did I leave that in here? I did. Good. Oh, that's where my interfaces were. See, I thought I had interfaces. Alright. So our next thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to make us some rock crushers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And actually, nope. Oh, they can't be together, can they? I need to get rid of you. After all. There we go. And there we go. Okay, good. For a moment there, I'd forgotten if it needed to be a 3 or a 2, and I was worried that I no longer had the space for it. Alright, so you've already got power pumped into you. And then for you... Oh, this is going to be... I love it when these go easy now. As we're getting further and further along in this process, it gets easier and easier to set these things up. So now you can see we've got power on both of these. Now it's just a matter of hooking this up to our system. And we're going to do that with 2 items here. We need 2 interfaces. Put you back in the system. We need our cabling. You can go back in. And then in addition, we don't need the import. We need, or the export. We need the import. And I do have 2 of those. Okay, sweet. Nice and easy. Alright, so we're going to put one of you here and one of you here. You've already connected to the system. Good. That means I don't have to do as much running of cable to get to you. There we go. So we'll bring you up. Actually, I meant to do that. There we go. Alright, so there's our import buses. So the items that are created inside of our rock crusher are just going to get pumped back into our system. Then, on top of that, we just need to throw 2 of these. And then I think we'll go ahead and connect those across the top like this. And then the shortest path to connect them in is probably right here. There we go. Got it. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to do our new recipe. And that is crystal. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll look that up here as well. Now if we go over here and click on this, normally you're not going to get much of a recipe other than like your shape crafting and stuff. But as you can see now, and this is a Burpmod thing, so don't try it out on your own. This is something that we added in just as a use for this. Quartz crystal gives us quartz dust, which, you know, it basically takes a lightly used item and actually makes it profitable. And that's probably the only thing I'm going to be using in this system at all. So I'll probably what I'll end up doing is once again we'll set this up with a level emitter so that we don't run out of this. Again, I don't think I'm going to be using too much of this as a as an item, but just to make sure, that's the one thing we don't want to do. I've made the mistake a couple times already where I kind of ran out of something. That's got to be Thumbcraft. Alright, so... Oh yeah, I need my patterns. Okay. Easy day here. That goes into that, which goes into that. And actually, I need 2 of those. So we'll just go ahead and grab another one. And swap you out. There we go. Now we've got 2. Put you over there. And I'm going to have this set up in 2 ways. Or I could have it set up in 2 ways. Like, basically I can go in here and put this pattern and that pattern in. And if I request quartz crystals, it'll go through and it'll do that process. Now the other issue is this one. And I'm going to, let's see. Let's go ahead and put my export in first. This is the idea I have. Because I'm gonna, like I said, I want to do this similar to some of the other things I've done before. Actually, forgot my export. 2 exports as well. Alright, so what we want to do is basically have this is going to be filling this whole inventory up with our crystals. But we only want this working if, there we go, that works perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do here is get our crystals first. There we go. So we're going to put this in there, and we're going to say emit when levels are below. How many of these do I have right now? You know what? I should always keep a backup of 1 barrel. Alright, so we're going to do 4,096. So we're going to keep 1 barrel. So now we come over to here, and we're going to tell this that without a signal, we're going to fill this thing up with quartz crystal. And right now we have no signal, so now if I reach into here, there you go. Boom. Okay, and that thing can pretty much run all day long, all night long, until we get down to we only have 1 barrel of these. And then it's going to stop. And then after that point, if I want to make any more, it'll have to be the manual version coming from here. Alright, so that means this one is done. We're basically ready to get going on our carpentry, but I had to do a little prep work ahead of time. The only way to make Carpenters work is to A, use the interface to send the items in, but B, you also have to have the recipe already inside. And to kind of do what I wanted to do and figure the setup, I needed to find out, I wanted to be able to combine these. So instead of, well, I wanted to be able to put one in between and have it work, but it doesn't quite work that way. I need to have the back open for liquids, and then I can export out the top. So the problem we're having, though, was which side it goes to. And that's what this was for. I put the same recipe inside all of these. There we go, one at a time. And then asked for it. And then it always went to the forward one. That one didn't get anything. And it went to the one heading this way. So that's what this here is for, is to tell me that on the when I set them down here, that the items are going to go this way from the MA interface. And they're also going to go this way from the enemy interface. And it doesn't matter which direction. I figured it was kind of a north-south thing. So this just tells me where it's going. So with that done, I'm going to leave that down there for a little bit just so I can always go back if I need to. Knowing the items are going this way means we're going to set it up like this, 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 and this. And then our ME interfaces will then go like this. Alright, so that gives us 4, and all the way around would give us 16. I'm going to end up having to do 2 rows of them because I think there's 20-some recipes. So I'll leave room for some manual ones where I can kind of manually put items in or double if I want to. Unfortunately, the thing I would love to do of like having an entire bank full of scented panel ones isn't going to work because the system, when you ask it to do something, it only sends it to one, or the first one. It doesn't, like if I say I wanted 128, it's not going to send half to here and half to there. It sends them all to this one, which, again, that kind of sucks. It's a little bit of a pain. If it's something that only takes 1 or 2 items, I could always stick a export bus on 2 of the sides, and that would, you know, be able to put items in. But it would be on a constant thing. It would always be going inside there. So we're just going to basically have it set up to one, each type item we want to make is going to have a single carpenter attached to it. And that's kind of how we're going to do this. And we're back. And I just had to add a couple more recipes in, but now, here we go. So let's see, we'll throw you on top of there, 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 and there. Okay, got our imports. So the export out of the system into there, and then the import back into the system. Now what that leaves me with is I still have to add in the liquids, which we'll be doing from the bottom. And I'm thinking, let's just clear all the space out here. Most of these are going to be water. There will be a few with, like say, oops, there'll be a couple with seed oil and 1 or 2 with honey, but the majorities are going to be water. So yeah, we'll kind of play with that as we go, especially once we start doing the ceiling ones as well. Alright, so there's our water going in, items going to the side, export coming up the top, and then that just leaves, well, let's see. For now, we're gonna run the water pipe across the floor to each one of these. Alright. Oh, this works good too, now that I'm thinking about it, because all the items moving this way means that the next set will be just like that. Okay, that's good. And then again, it moves this way. Okay, good. This is actually another reason why I'm bringing this up, is it actually saves me the issue of having the connections touch each other. So power will be actually very simple to run, as we can basically just run that all the way across here like this. It'll just be one big circle. Kind of throw all this in here real fast. I'll finish that up later here. And this is only temporary just while I was testing this, but for the same thing I can use it again to test right now. Alright. So that's you there. Let me, in addition, let's see. Let's go ahead and run these to connect everything across the top. I just want to verify that it's all working as intended. Sounds like such a dirty word, as intended. Alright, let's see. We run you across here. Alright. So right now, you are still not connected to the system, and this isn't going to be the final way. Okay. So now, interfaces are connected, exports, everything. Okay. That's all connected. Now, what we want to do is come back down here, using our wood pulp program again. Okay, that's right. We gotta, let's see. I think that was the only place I had the recipe. I do need some water though. Let's see. Liquid duct. You know what? Town has water. So let's see. We'll put Tesseract right there. And your output, do I have any levers? I do. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Drop you down. Pump you on. We're going to keep you on public, and we're going to go to liquid room, water out. Go, and you should I would think it would work that way, but apparently not. Okay, alrighty, so now if we come back over here, okay, water's filling, water's filling, water's filling. Now the moment of truth. If I take this recipe and I place it in here, so now we got the wood pulp recipe, it should go to this one. So we'll come over here, oops, pulp, and let's ask for 64 so we can make sure to see it all happen. Now it should not be in here. Oh, it's not in either of them. It's going to be right there. I forgot one key item. Recipe has to be in there first. Alright, let's try that again. Recipe, pulp, begin. Now, nothing in there. There we go. Good to go. And it's pumping it out. Okay, so this system now works. So all I have to do for each one of these is to come in and put the recipe and make sure that in this part we have the correct recipe inside as well. Then we're going to have to repeat it, but just in the upside down type of form up here once we're done with that. So I'm going to do the rest of this part off camera here, and I'll come back once I've got this whole thing set up and I can show you the recipes I've got in and how this all works. So anyway, I will be back in a few. Moment of truth. And we're going to throw this on there to say this is what this one's making. So we have our recipe there, 1 royal, 3 birch wood, 2 beeswax, and a pollen. In here we have our recipe. Got the honey in there. So if I come over here to scented and take out the 20 that's already in there, I'm going to tell it I want a stack. Which means when I click here, boom. And it's slowly adding the birchwood because I didn't actually have 3 full stacks of birchwood in there. But there we go. Now the next question is when the birch or the scented paneling pops out and it's gone in the system. Perfect. So here's what it looks like all covered up now. And we'll pop in here to kind of show you. Again, I like how easy this is to all set up. You can see I've got 2 spots for honey, 2 spots for seed oil just to kind of balance it out. Everyone else gets water. I suppose what I probably should have done was actually there's a couple recipes that don't take anything. So I'll work that out when I get to those recipes. But for now, this works just fine. Yes. Alright, so one more set of processing that all we need to do now is just to manually go through and put in our patterns, and then from there we'll be able to access it. So again, a lot of these are going to sit here empty up until I have a need for some type of recipe, and then I'll just go and make it the first time, and it'll be in there. So now it's time for our last little area here. And once again, it went to the right way. That's another key thing I was worried about. Okay, so anyways, now it's down to our last section. And this is going to be a small coal coke oven and blast furnace setup. I know, like, you can make huge ones with tons of them, but I don't know how much steel and some of the other things I'll be using. So I'm just going to set it up so it's going to have 2 coal cokes and 2 blast furnaces set up, and it should look kind of cool, and it should fit just perfectly inside of here. So let me go grab all the items I need to get to this part, and then I will be right back. The last thing we're going to add in now is our blast furnace and our coke ovens. So we're going to basically put 2 of each in here. And the first one, I guess we'll throw the coke oven here. So it's going to actually get built up level with the floor, because we want them to have the same look. And then the blast furnace will actually be 1 lower, just so that it has the exact same appearance. It'll look like it's the same height, even though it's obviously 1 taller. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put these 2 in, just the bodies of them, and then I'll be right back. Our ovens and furnace are in, so now it is actually time to set this up. So we'll go ahead and run us some nice cabling over here to get it inside. We need to... Well, I was going to say it needs to be in the top, but I wonder, can this get filled from the bottom? I'm actually kind of curious. So let's say we put an export bus on the bottom of this, right there, and we went and put coal there, Okay. Well, it was worth a try. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, that's a blast furnace. What am I doing? Let's try this again. We'll stick you under it. And then we'll, of course, connect you up as well. Alright, let's try this one more time. We'll put the coal in. Tell it we want it to stack. And it does work. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Now the best part is now after that we just put the import bus right next to it, and it will suck our coal coke right out. Done. That's all we got to do for this setup. Again, I like these ones that are, you know, nice and easy. And so we'll have to do, let's see, let's add this in here. And this is just for the solid part, because we still have liquid to deal with. But, okay, so our 2 coal cokes are set up. Do I have any more coal? I do. Okay, good. Alright, we'll do the same thing over here. Alright, good. That is going, and I shouldn't be too... I got so much coal. This should never be an issue. Now, I can always, if I do find myself struggling, I can always put a level emitter here again. That takes care of that. Now, back to here again. So we'll stick the export bus back where it was. And this time, though, we have to wait until we get coal coke. Once we get coal coke, then we can finish this part of it. But in the meantime, we can still at least put in our parts. Alright, so physical, or yeah, the non-liquid parts are taken care of. Now what we need to do is we need our liquid duct. Liquid duct and levers. So let's see. We'll take, that should be more than enough. Levers. I need 4 of those. And I already have tesseract. Okay, good. So what we'll do, get these out of here. This one will be a nice, easy process. If I set you there, oh, that's right, you don't need it. It's only for my coke ovens. I guess I could just get my wrench. Alright, so then we'll just basically 2 of you into here, and then we'll just have you pump straight into our tesseract. And the tesseract is going to be owner send, and what was my last one number on? 27 was molten ender. 28. Okay, there you go, 28. Alright, and this is going to be our creosote. Creosote source. Alrighty. And then we'll just do the same over here. And yes, I know we aren't pumping quite yet. I still need to put my levers on, but I'm just getting this part set up. So 28, owner, send, 28, there we go, creosote. And let's see, get my wrench out. Alrighty, pretty sure it's set there. And let's see, grab our 2 levers, 1 to go there, 1 to go there. Alright, as long as I don't have anything over here set up like this right now, doesn't have anything having to do with redstone, so we're good to go. Alright, so we're kind of stuck where we are now until I get some coal coke. I can finish the process over there, but you can already see, oh, we already had some. So that means there's already some in the system. Wow, that was pretty quick. I don't remember it taking longer than that. Sweet. There we go. Alright, so this is not going anywhere because I haven't actually programmed the tank in there yet, but this is working as expected. And now, for this, let's see, those two. This is just for to fill the blast furnace, and I'm thinking this is going to work. So let's see, if I put you in here, one in there, one in there, awesome. Then all we got to do now is take our ME interfaces and plug one of those into each of these. One there, one there. And now we can actually put in our recipes for steel and all the other fun stuff from the coal coke oven. Cool. Alright, well let me make my recipes. Let me kind of tidy this up here real fast, and then I will be right back. Well, here we are. Got our last section done now. So we're still producing our coal coke and our creosote. Ooh, you're not pumping out. I'll have to look and see why you're not pumping out. I know the other one was. Oh, that's right. I haven't turned it on over there yet. Okay, over here, starting to get some coal cokes. So I put in the recipe now. So steel. Get rid of that. Let's say we'll make us some 10 steel. So now if we pop over here, there she is. Pumped it right into here, and we are good to go. Now that's the on-demand one. I can also basically come over here and that's over there. If I were to replace the interface with another export and then put the iron in here, it could set it up over there, and then of course I can use again the level emitter and just say that I want a certain number of steel in my system at a given time, and that works as well. So this section here is now done. So processing for now is completed. I wish this one had the door up here, but it has it down there. I could always raise it up, but I wanted it to have the same height. Our carpenters are looking really cool over here. I like how that looks. I haven't done anything in here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do in there, if I'm going to do anything. IC2, RailCraft, thermal expansion. It is full of quartz. They're just pumping away, giving us our quartz dust. How much of that do I have right now since I left it going? Woohoo! Over 5,000. Which actually means I should be making the quartz. I had this thing set up over here. I gotta check this out. Kind of show you my wall of auto crafting. But I believe I had only told it to keep 4,096 of the quartz dust. Maybe I didn't. I know I made that. I thought I had a... Okay, I haven't yet. Alrighty. Well, I guess I'll probably have to go and add that later, but I got another 3 walls worth of auto crafting. But I can make it so that it'll craft me quartz out of quartz dust and just leave me 1 barrel full of the quartz dust. But anyway, we are done right now with the basics of our crafting section. I've got lots of behind the camera work, or off camera work, to continue updating my storage and recipes for patterns and stuff like that. But now we're ready to move on, and I think in our next episode we're gonna have another building built, and it's time to get in our assembly room and lasers. So it's gonna have to be a pretty big room because I've got plans for a very large laser setup, and it also means I need more power. So I'm going to also be working on adding in more bees, more engines, more output, so that we can power all these lasers and stuff. So I got a bit of work to do between now and next episode, but once we do, should be fun. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.